Heart of the City's series sponsor is Investors Bank and Investors Bank Foundation.
Welcome to Heart of the City, a series on creative civic renewal. In this episode, we'll visit Newark and discover green building research at NJIT, historic lofts, a campaign for college attainment, and new restaurants. And we'll meet students at Rutgers University-Newark.
It is definitely a university town. Rutgers University is right across the street from New Jersey Institute of Technology.
There is a big Go Green movement. This generation and the next generation is making it their main focus to work on energy efficiency, resource efficiency, recycling, reusing materials, making buildings more energy efficient. I think we realized we're kind of in a time crunch in terms of resources.
At New Jersey Institute of Technology, engineers and architects are working to make buildings smarter by harvesting and conserving energy through the building materials. Martina Decker is assistant professor of architecture and design.
I'm fascinated with new and emergent materials and how they can actually transform architecture. We have to really start conserving energy.
Environmental chemist Som Mitra saw the need for energy efficiency as an engineering student in New Delhi.
We were studying different processes, how to make cement, how to make fertilizer. So there's a lot of waste in terms of energy, resources.
Now his focus is on making batteries that are as thin and bendable as film.
We've taken that chemistry and then we compress it all into a flat, flexible battery.
The chemistry behind flexible batteries is the carbon nanotube.
About 1,000 times smaller than the diameter of your hair. It has electronic properties which we utilize in batteries and in solar cells. And then we also use it for making materials such as building materials.
He envisions window shade systems with 3 different functions.
The outside of the window shade could be a solar cell. The second layer could be a battery.
And on the inside, a flexible electronic screen.
So your window shade could harvest energy, store it, and actually have a TV screen on the inside.
Developing efficient building materials is urgent for Martina, who studied at Munich's University of Applied Sciences.
I think we have to realize where the energy that we consume every day is coming from. We have to be very aware of what we use it for.
Her focus is on skins and shades that react to different temperatures.
So you can imagine a shading system that when the room is hot, actually blocks out the solar heat gain. So the blinds will close.
That would make sustainable buildings, which would lead to sustainable cities. So these are all little steps that, lead to this big picture, and that is why they're important.
And when will we see these innovations in our homes and offices?
Some of these concepts, in my opinion, could be put to practice and commercialized in the next couple of years. For the flexible electronics, there is huge global demand. I think the future is flexible electronics.
While the future for researchers is sharing ideas across disciplines.
The university really encourages interdisciplinary collaboration and really enables its researchers to work together.
We need awareness, and then, of course, technology and economics, I think, will have the product.
Developing flexible materials for more efficient buildings.
In Newark, there's a lot of redevelopments going on. The Haynes Building, putting in video production, journalism, art, and even a new art gallery. The Ironbound is very diverse. That's what makes Newark so rich with history.
Near the intersection of Broad and Market Streets in downtown Newark are 100-year-old buildings once occupied by jewelry makers, printers, and bookbinders. Today, these buildings are forming a new neighborhood of residential development.
These buildings predate 1911, and most of them were built right around the turn of the century. Newark was a foundation of the arts, was a foundation of industry.
Josh Sternberg of the Fidelco Group knows that culture, entertainment, and transportation are together attracting investors to downtown Newark.
You have the arena, you have a successful NJPAC, you have other successful developers, quite frankly, that are investing their time and their equity and their money into revitalizing Newark. If you have Penn Station, proximity to Manhattan, the highway systems, the subway, the light rail. When you put all the pieces together, it really does make logical sense.
3 years ago, the group began working on residential lofts and was impressed by the response. Now the historic Columbia building, built in 1890, has been meticulously restored just steps away from Newark's Prudential Center.
The building is absolutely artistic. The type of brickwork that's on the front facade, I don't think you can recreate ever. Is it a challenge to redevelop these historic buildings? Absolutely.
Another source of Newark's vibrancy, 5 universities and colleges, all within walking distance.
Newark is in fact a college town. It's one of the largest concentrations of academic institutions along the East Coast. There's approximately 50,000 faculty, students, staff, and administrators.
This mix of educational and business growth in Newark has increased the pace of development projects.
You can see it in the new headquarters for the Panasonic building, in the new Prudential Center building.
Mike's own fascination with cities developed in his home state of New Hampshire.
People are returning to cities for a connection to environmental sustainability, the desire to get rid of their cars and to walk more. It's a place that takes advantage of all of its diversity and historical heritage.
Reclaiming that history is what adds excitement to the projects of developers in Newark.
For investors, Newark is phenomenal. You truly do have a lower cost to do business. You have a lower cost to rent than you might in some of the comparable areas. What's driving market rents? What creates community? And that's residential, that's office, that's workforce, and that's retail. Watching, a vibrant streetscape arise and watching people that live and building a community, it's pretty cool.
I believe that as a college student, we have a great pull. We're trying to redirect the path of our generation and show them how easy it is to be civically engaged. Utilize your skills and your talents to improve the conditions of your city. I just want to really help the youth and propel their futures.
Newark is changing for the better. People are realizing that we could change it ourselves. So we are getting out there. We are going to these high schools and talking to the students. You have to connect. You just have to be involved in any capacity, really.
In Newark, New Jersey, an ambitious campaign is underway to increase higher education attainment among the city's residents. It's called the Newark City of Learning Collaborative, or NCLC. The goal of the campaign is to increase the percentage of college-educated citizens to 25% from 17% by the year 2025. Mayor Ross Baraka was keynote speaker for the launch event at Rutgers University-Newark.
If we build the people will build the city.
The City of Learning Collaborative involves literally dozens of nonprofits working closely with the community. NCLC co-chair Jeremy Johnson describes the City of Learning project as a vast, complex alliance of partners involving citizens and businesses.
From parents to principals to corporate CEOs to the mayor to the housing authority to philanthropists. It's not any one particular institution, corporation, or even government. It's all of these things coming together.
A key strategy of the campaign is to invite college students who grew up in Newark to be role models for high school students. Monica, one of 6 student panelists, is a graduate of Seton Hall University.
If family don't motivate you, motivate yourself.
We've been planning a college readiness course called College Knowledge.
Michael grew up in the South Ward of Newark. His goals and advice for high school students?
Be prepared for setbacks and not taking no for an answer. Making sure that we're inclusive of everyone and allowing people to feel valued in our society.
Mateus, a graduate of Science Park High School who's studying urban education policy at Brown University, is brimming with questions on ways to empower and engage citizens.
How do we build this impact that is large scale? How do we get citizens involved in their own institutions and build that capacity in them to then change these institutions?
One indication that NCLC's attainment goals may be reached is a shift in popular attitudes toward academic achievement.
If you see great things, people being venerated for graduating college, it's like, wow, maybe I can strive to get that 4.0 and these scholarships.
Jeremy Johnson recognizes the importance of access to higher education.
Being the first in my family to go on to college, the stories that we heard from the students really resonated with my own. Watching them rise, that's really our purpose. It's going to make the city a better place for all of us.
Our closing 3 segments profile students, restaurants, and the civic spirit of Newark.
I do see nonprofits as a great stepping stone for change. Nonprofits are organizations that are developed to change something that they find that is wrong. My nonprofit's name is Project Y2Z. Its mission is to uplift and move young people through arts and athletics. I started running track in 3rd grade. I was New Jersey State champion. I do believe in the sentence, "The children are our future." I want to focus on allowing students to have that outlet, the athletic department, and a creative arts outlet. I don't believe young people know what it means to be a citizen. They think it's all politics and they'll handle it once they get older, but the truth of the matter is that we should understand what it is as early as we can. That way we can see what we need to change and how we can help. The role of citizens is to basically embrace what you're passionate about. What do you want to do? What do you love to do? What can you do every day, even if you didn't get a paycheck? I'm really, really passionate about the younger generation. I want them to be able to be safe in an environment where they feel free and believe in themselves. That's what drives me.
Newark is changing. Newark is building more businesses and corporate companies and nonprofits as well.
It's becoming beautiful. You want to be there. You want to spend time there.
I love the culture, the diversity in Newark. On Halsey Street, you see it every day.
In the heart of Newark, 1 block from Broad Street and the newly restored 6-acre military park, there's a growing number of cafes and restaurants along Halsey Street. The Halsey district is surrounded by 3 universities and colleges.
I did some research and I found out about this neighborhood, and I'm like, that's a pretty good opportunity for a first business. Not too big, not too crazy, so it's perfect.
Down the block at number 27 Halsey Street, Kathy Scalera is assistant manager of 27 Mix. She appreciates the collaboration between restaurant owners.
My brother Ciro started about 10 years ago renovating the buildings and getting the restaurant up in operation. We have wonderful neighbors. If one of us runs out of something and we can help each other out, we sure do.
Around the corner on New Street, Josh Miller of Englewood started La Cocina with his family.
Right by Rutgers-Newark, NJIT, Essex County College. We're friendly with all the restaurants. Hot Thai, Green Chickpea, Art Kitchen. Competition, but friendly competition.
Newark writer Felicia Walker Benson is struck by the pace of change in her home city.
I've never seen development happen as quickly as is happening now. Like the Prudential building, for example, this is the fastest building I've seen go up in Newark in my 30-something years. I like to walk the long way to Penn Station just to be energized by the environment and see everything, all of the development and the changes take in the community.
But beyond developing their businesses, Halsey Street restaurants are knitting together a broader cultural community.
We have meetings once a week. We always help each other, and like we are all friends.
NJPAC is about a 5-minute walk away from here. Halsey Street is really happening.
We're really excited about the future of Newark.
Creating a village of students and professionals, businesses, restaurants, and parks in downtown Newark.
For change to happen, it has to begin with us. Citizenship and democracy, they go hand in hand. If we have a voice, then use it.
Public administration is focused on 2 things: policy work, what drives the laws that are created in our communities, federal, state, or local, and then being a responsible administrator, adhering to ethics. I see a huge shift in the way people are caring about others now. It's a beautiful thing because this is what the country was really based on in the beginning, helping one another, bringing up each other, a sense of community. My investment in prisoner reentry actually came from a personal situation. I was incarcerated for 5 years. Upon my return, I was enrolled into Rutgers University in New Brunswick. I always told myself when I was incarcerated, if I could do 5 years in prison, then I could do 5 years in school. And I made that my goal and accomplished it. Our young people are the future. Once we get older, they're going to be the ones who are leading our communities and our cities. A lot of the students taking up majors such as civic service, public administration, public service. It's a really good feeling. What do you want to do in life? What are the things you are interested in? If you explore and expose yourself to different things, there's going to be that one thing that grabs you and you're not going to be able to break it. The lofts and condominiums in Newark, I would like to see the people who are residents get involved in the community, really get to know those who are walking around here, those who take public transportation. Newark has a lot of potential and Newark has a lot of heart.
Part of the city's series sponsor is Investors Bank and Investors Bank Foundation. This episode sponsored by the Newark Community Economic Development Corporation.